Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. I'm going to attempt to show you how to draw this pattern. It's kind of just seamless. You can just keep it going on and on forever. It's actually deceiving. It looks like it's not parallel, but I think it is. So we're just going to draw one. I'm going to start out with a 4-inch square. I'm going to hit P. With a ratio locked, I'm going to change it to 4. The number does not matter, just relative. Now I'm going to take a rectangle and unlock my ratio, and I want this to be 4 by 1. And I'm going to hit P. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 90 degrees. Now I'm going to take a 2-point line. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 1/4 of an inch, 0.25. I'm going to take this line and snap it to that line. I'm going to hit the plus key, and because it's a 1-inch deal, it'll snap right to it. I'm going to take away these lines, and if you see what I'm doing, I'm actually going to take, I should have nudged those over to that part. Now I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool. Let's set it like on 6 inches, and let's get the Smart Fill tool and nudge that over 6 inches. 6 inches, 6 inches. So now we have that part of the drawing. We can delete that. I'm going to Control G to group that. There's several ways you could do this. One way, we could hold down the Shift key and put a rectangle around it. That'll give us a corner access. Double click on the rotation and move it to that node and rotate it 90 degrees. Well, why is it not rotating from there? There we go. Now we can change. It's just hitting the box. Rectangle selected. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use indexing lines to play it safe. I can have indexing lines snap to that rectangle. Now we can get rid of that rectangle. And I'm going to Control D to make a duplicate and move the center rotation to the intersection. And then I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees. Control D, Control D. You see what I've got so far. Control G to group it, and then rotate it 45 degrees. Now we need a box that's going to cut some of this off. So I'm going to take a rectangle and I'm going to hit P. I actually need to hit P and group it all together. I want this rectangle right to this point. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and have it, I really need to grow it from here, but I'm going to hold down the Shift so it'll grow from that point and try to get right on the money. Close enough, good enough. Now, I think because that's all grouped together, we can use the intersect tool and we got our design. I wouldn't ever want to delete that. I might want to play with it later. So I just made a copy and put it out of the way. And I'm not on. That's why I messed up here. Let's nudge that back. For some reason, I didn't draw a square box. My box down here is not square. So it is square. Maybe I didn't put this in the center. Huh. That ought to fit to that edge also. Something moved while I was doing something, so I'm going to hold down the Shift key again and have it grow to that, basically the inner part. And it's not quite there. It's almost hard to do this, but if you hold down the Shift key, you can actually probably, that's what I did a while ago. I probably moved it. But if you hold down, I'm having a little trouble tonight. See, I'm moving the whole box now. I don't want to do that. Let me hit P again. I want to take that corner and move it in, holding down the Shift key. Let's see if we got it all the way around. And I think we do. Another way I could have done it, Another way I could have done it was with math. So we're not quite there. I'm going to do this with math. I'm going to raise this to 111% with our ratio lock. Doesn't matter if you use the top one or the bottom one. Nope. No, that's a little bit big. Okay, it's too much. Let's go 110. Too little. 110.5. Close enough. You can play around with that if you're really doing it for real. Now we're on the right edge everywhere. We can take this and we can intersect it. Now, we really want, I'm going to move that out of the way. We want this to be an even though we could use this, we could make it anything we want with our ratio lock. We could make it 4 by 4. And if you're starting out with something little, you might even want to make it smaller than that. Now we can set our nudge factor on 4 and Control D and make a duplicate, and then just keep going with Control D. And then it's the same distance from the other way, so just go down. And you could make this, any size you wanted. Pretty cool, pretty fast. The only thing I could do different in the future would be I'm going to try to figure out a way to make it look like it's more linked together. Anyway, I hope that helped just a little bit. Thank you for watching.